Paying attention to some electoral updates, over 339 cases of electoral violence have occurred in the country within the past 1 year. This is according to data on election violence reports monitored by KIM PACT Development Initiative, a non-governmental organization. And to reduce this figure, stakeholders in next month's election have been called upon to change the incentives around electoral violence and hold all persons accountable. This call was made at a high-level national dialogue on mitigating electoral violence organized by KIM PACT Development Initiative in Abuja. FCT correspondent Naomi Oleribe tells us more on this.
Less than 36 days to the 2023 general election, stakeholders, government officials, international bodies and the police have come together to raise conversation on how to conduct an election devoid of violence and chaos.
As a matter of fact, the police has been making adequate preparation to ensure that the recurrent issue of electoral violence are put in check or mitigated. We started by carrying out our threat analysis all over the Federation, and we have continued to update these threats, as this will help us in our deployment of personnel and resources. And not only that, we're working closely with other security agencies to ensure that they will carry out a well-harmonized deployment of personnel to these very areas. We're equally working with our intelligence assets to make sure that perpetrators of violence are put in check and, if possibly, arrested to ensure that we have a peaceful election in this 2023.
Country Director, International Republican Institute, IRI, Santiago Stalker, in his goodwill message, said international communities must stay strong on his commitment to stand with Nigerians in achieving credible election.
While the 2022 Electoral Act prescribes stiff penalties for electoral offenses, including acts of malfeasance and violence, enforcement of such provisions has been lacking. When rampant vote buying goes unaddressed, as we saw in Ekiti and Oshun, when campaign property is systematically destroyed with little consequence, when campaigns are denied the right to use facilities and conduct activities, when party officials face no consequences for the actions of their operatives and their supporters, it creates an environment of impunity.
Meanwhile, Bukola Idowu, Executive Director, KIM PACT Development Initiative, KDI, appealed to political parties to focus on issue-based campaigns and urged them to discourage use of force or violence among its members.
And one of the things we have also seen is that about 169 people have died, that last year, related to election violence, and that is why we need to have this conversation. This election is so critical that we need to get it right, and at the same time, this violence we also believe can mar the election, and violence also can undermine the election. Don't also forget that because of violence, election can be cancelled in some places where the violence occurred.
They further urged the media to partner with relevant stakeholders in order to ensure proper dissemination of accurate and authentic news. From the nation's capital, Naomi Oleribe, ABN News.